Welcome to Intuitive Seek. My name is Mary Train, and as an intuitive guide, energy healer, and meditation teacher, I aim to bring you a grounded approach to all things energy and intuition. Everything I share is with the hope to help you remember how your unique power of intuition is your own greatest teacher.
Hello and welcome to your Intuitive Week, your energy update for the week of August 17th. How are you? How was last week? How are those boundaries that you had to kind of reassess and look at for yourself and maybe how you're moving through the world, where you're putting your energy and where you're not? To me, that's always kind of the best way to look at boundaries as they came through last week, that it's really about focusing on how you are meeting your needs and where your energy is being put and where it might be focused in a better way to serve you and the people around you. Boundaries, the energetics of them, at least the way I see that setting boundaries are not about conversations with other people, but it's really a conversation with yourself. So if you didn't get to have that conversation with yourself last week, think of that tiger energy again and connect to it because it does feel like a part of this week as well. This week also has my birthday in it on the Wednesday, the 19th. And one of the things that I really wanted to have before my birthday was the test oracle deck for my intuitive animal oracle. And it looks like it will be here before my birthday. So, very excited to start sharing that and getting the test deck of all of the animals that I drew myself. And then I'm going to focus on finishing the guidebook for each one because I really felt like, oh, having the deck, working with them will help me finish the insight and the guidance that each card is sharing. And it's a 55 card deck. And I just feel so lit up and excited about sharing it and just to have it for myself. And it's something that I've been working on, and the inspiration came through April 2024. So it's been a little over 2 years and 2.5 years, I guess. The guided journal is part of it as well. And yeah, pretty excited to hold it in my hand and start working with them and sharing them and really bringing this channeled guidance and animal symbolism for soul remembering and divine direction through the cycles of our lives, really bringing it into full fruition. There's just something about it being my 44th year, and then also finishing up the first draft of my novel as well. So, yeah, a lot of really exciting and terrifying, but more exciting creative projects actually coming into the material world that has been living in the world around me, in the energy around me, in my creative energy. And now soon I get to actually experience it in the physical. And that is, I mean, truly something, you know, 10 years ago, unimaginable. 5 years ago, a little inkling that it might be possible. But it really is amazing how much things can happen in their own time as long as we continue to keep that spark alive, even when it's very small and hardly visible or even clear. When you know that it's there, just keep going. Keep going. And this year, there has been so many kind of interruptions in the flow of what I really wanted to create, in addition to the work that I do and the amazing clients that I am so grateful to support. In between all of it, so many things were happening with myself and with my family. And it was and has been such a lesson in allowing kind of the timing to work and not push when things are all of the sudden kind of obstructing the schedule or the flow, but not letting it completely get in the way. And even the last month, there has been, more unexpected loss in my family. And then I had, this dental surgery that took quite a bit of my time and in the healing process of it and the recovery. But it was just a real lesson in surrendering to the timing, but not giving up. A very big lesson in the flexibility. And I had to kind of decide where my time and my focus was best put. So, one of the things since June that I've had to put on pause was my insight timer lives, which I love to do, but I just did not have any space for them between my client work, my healing and intuitive work, and then also with my creative work as well. And then time that my family needed, and then that I needed. So I will be getting back to Insight Timer in September. So if you do follow me there, you should see the events published soon by next week. And I'm excited to get back and connect. It's going to be very, very different because usually I always had Bandit there with me, meowing through the meditations often. And he will be there with us in spirit for sure. But oh, yeah. Really, really miss his physical presence. He was really just the best. And this will be my second birthday without my dad as well since he passed. And yeah, not fun. Not fun to mark these occasions in a different way. So I will be celebrating, but there is a lot of grief with it too. And that's okay. That's life. So, feeling very, very grateful, but also very reflective and inspired and loved and all of the things. So, I just wanted to share a bit about that because you are also such a big part of my life too. Listening every week, and as we move through all of this energy together, I really appreciate you so much for listening and for those of you that reach out and connect with me about the energy and about your interpretations. It's just such a such a bright spot of my life and my work. So, thank you so much for being here. And before we fully get into the energy update, for anyone new, welcome. And for everyone who has returned, welcome back. I just wanted to share again how I receive these intuitive updates. These energy updates are received through a deep meditation that I go into with the intention to use my intuitive senses to translate the energy of the week ahead. So in the meditation, I receive messages, symbolism, any guidance that I can translate through my intuition with as much clarity as possible to offer us insight about the week ahead, insight about opportunities and challenges, what to focus on, what to not focus on. So I share what comes through in the meditation, and then I share the animal that comes through for more inspiration. And then I share some writing prompts, soul questions, and they can be journal prompts or you can answer them in a voice note, but they're there to help us dive even deeper into the energy ahead. So, this is all about helping you anchor into the week with more intention and a bit more attention to what you may need to know or remember. But always, 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 always trust what resonates for you and leave the rest. If the interpretation that I'm offering is different than what you're receiving, trust what you're receiving. Use these as a way to develop the language of your intuition. All right, so here is the energy update for your intuitive week of August 17th. When I first opened up the meditation, we, the person in the meditation that represents you and I, we were on a sidewalk walking, and all of a sudden there was a hopscotch in front of us, the chalk drawing that you kind of jump through. And we walked forward, and instead of jumping, we actually did a somersault. And it was really fun and easy. It was play. We were playing on the sidewalk. And the interesting part was around the sidewalk, around where we were playing with the chalk and the hopscotch and the somersault, there were actually really big puzzle pieces kind of strewn around the sidewalk. And this felt like kind of a clear message and insight for the week ahead that whatever puzzle in our life or puzzles that we are trying to solve, let the pieces just be for a minute. Trust the timing, because inside of those puzzle pieces was the sidewalk, was the hopscotch. So any puzzles in our life that we're trying to solve, it feels like the insight is let it be, and maybe the solution will come through more play, more playful energy, not through force or intense focus, through lightness, through like some wholesome fun, some childlike wonder is the energy to really let the pieces be and focus on a very different energy, because we've been perhaps really trying to solve a puzzle. The energy has been intense. And it feels like the symbolism is that if things are not fully fitting together, if the pieces are not coming together in your life, wherever this puzzle is, that it needs time, that it needs time because your energy is shifting. And if there's too much focus on the problem, then there's no space for the solution. And I really feel like this week, because there is this feeling of intensity, if there's puzzle pieces around us not coming together, that can be a very kind of unsettling energy. That things are still being woven, and we need to allow the space for those things to be woven. Almost like all of those pieces, if we give them space, if we have more lightness and fun connecting to our inner child and what lights us up, not taking things so seriously, those puzzles, those pieces are coming together. They're finding how to fit. They have the space. So the insight really feels like, if that is what you're feeling, that you're in this space of things are coming together, but you're not seeing them in your reality quite yet, that the clarity is not there, that you're feeling like, oh, how is this going to happen? What is going to happen? What is even going on? Which way is best? It feels like if you are in that space, which I feel like many of us are, what can bubble up from that space can be quite a bit of fear and doubt and worry and overthinking and all the reasons why things aren't happening or something isn't happening yet. If you're in that space, the insight from the meditation for this week could be showing us that the medicine for that is to look for a lighter way forward. If you're unsure of the next step, maybe don't even focus on what the next step is, but skip ahead, somersault instead, dance away. Like, don't take yourself too seriously this week. Try to have fun and know that things are changing, but you don't have to be kind of dragged every second of every moment of the change. That you can let the child within you kind of guide you if you feel like you're in this deep kind of transformative time. How can you lighten up? Like when things feel heavy, we can let our inner child help to shift our focus to fun and play, to remember what not only lights you up, but what lightens you up, right? It's like if this week we can remember how to do that, because there is no shortage of running out of things in our personal lives or in our world that are the exact opposite of fun and light. Very easy to look and focus on all of the stuff that is not fun or light. And this is not about ignoring it, not about ignoring the reality, but bringing some balance to it. Maybe taking a break at some point this week to just lighten up your soul and your energy, to do a energetic or even physical somersault or cartwheel or dance in the middle of your living room, just because, like, especially when you notice yourself getting preoccupied with everything that you need or don't have or need to solve or haven't received or haven't done or experienced, or let the puzzle pieces be, personally and collectively. Like, come back to the moment and notice how you can kind of lighten your energy a bit. Because the feeling of this scene in the meditation really could be showing us that for some of us, we might get really stuck in our minds this week when we are feeling overwhelmed or unsure, when the doubt and the worry and the fear flows in like so much faster than our trust. Then it could be about enjoying something that you love, like remembering what you loved when you were a kid, to just bring yourself back to your heart and your body, to get out of your head and into the moment, into the present. And this feels like another way to remember your strengths, which is what August is about, remembering your strengths. And that will help you receive what you need this month. Because our inner child knows what our talents and skills and abilities are. The little us is the one that can help us remember what we have forgotten, what we've forgotten about ourselves and our unique essence. So this week, you might really start remembering your strengths. It might be this is the week where it all kind of comes rushing back if you give yourself the space for it. And that's also making space for your intuition as well. Not pushing to figure anything out that is not coming clearly, but allowing the space for your intuition to speak to you. The clarity will come, but it feels like this energy for the week ahead is about anchoring more into yourself, feeling more grounded, and allowing your body to maybe even help you decide yes or no, this way or that way. Maybe that is part of kind of that playful energy going on the sidewalk and playing games and jumping and skipping, not focusing on how the puzzle pieces are coming together, but maybe connecting to the lightness of your inner child is getting to the center of ourselves. And that's the space that knows exactly what we need and what we don't. That's where our intuition can really have a voice. And then the next thing that came through was a very large spotlight on our shoulders and our upper back. Some tension, pressure. Yeah, some real extra pressure. And I feel like this was about paying attention to any undue pressure or responsibility that you are feeling, that you're carrying, that is not helping you and most likely not helping anyone around you. And this can also be a shift in energy when we are trying to figure something out, when we're trying to put puzzle pieces together and we're not getting the clarity. So then we shift to what we can, or maybe what we're used to looking at. And that can often be putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, taking on a lot of responsibility. So this week, if you do notice that, pay attention to any kind of undue responsibility or extra pressure that you are putting on yourself and on your shoulders. And how can you at least let it go for a little bit? Put it down this week. And to do that, we usually need more trust. So look at where you're not trusting. And that could be where you are feeling more pressure or responsibility that is not really yours. And then the next thing that came through, it was right after the kind of chalk and the fun that we were having on the sidewalk. There was a huge blue sapphire crystal waiting for our attention. And whenever a crystal shows up, it always feels like a call to grounding, to focusing on you connecting to that anchoring, grounding earth energy that you are already made of and a part of. And I also felt like the symbolism of the blue sapphire, because it was such a specific one, that it can offer us some more guidance too. So I did find this on crystalvaults.com, some more symbolism about the sapphire. So as I share, just really trust where it brings you or reminds you of in your life, where it could be connecting. Sapphire is exceptional for calming and focusing the mind, allowing the release of mental tension and unwanted thoughts. It encourages opening the mind to beauty and intuition, bringing lightness and joy as it restores balance within the body. Which is so amazing, right? Because that is very connected to what came through already. And then a little bit more about the sapphire from crystalvaults.com. Today, sapphire is still a stone of wisdom, a royal stone of learning, mental acuity, and psychic activation, a seeker after spiritual truth. Its pure blue ray brings order and healing to the mind, lending strength and focus, and an ability to see beneath surface appearances to underlying truths and to utilize that knowledge. It stimulates the throat and the third eye, allowing one to access deeper levels of consciousness in order to gain a fuller understanding of self. Associated with the planet Saturn, blue sapphire embraces order, structure, and self-discipline, and is ideal for accomplishing goals and manifesting ideas into form. Sapphire's power to transmute negative thoughts and energy also makes it highly effective for earth and chakra healing. Use blue sapphire to stay on your spiritual path and for assistance in matters of self-discipline, whether routine daily tasks or actions requiring focus. It helps during times of change to maintain clear vision of where it is you want to go and how to get there. So beautiful symbolism and a very supportive energy too. And then the animal that came through for this week is the skunk. The skunk came through and I was like, wait, that wasn't that long ago. And I looked and it was the last time the skunk came through was the week of May 11th. So when we do have these animals recurring, sometimes it is because we need to kind of look at that time. So for the week of May 11th, look back to any themes that are the same or similar coming up again, maybe some wisdom then about what the skunk is reminding us of again in the themes that I'll share, and use it as a way for self-reflection and what you may need to know now. So the skunk represents the energy of self-respect, humility, transformation, empowerment, new beginnings, self-esteem, protection, boundaries, healing, adaptability, patience, fearlessness, and unique gifts. And I'm still working on my full guidance for the skunk in my intuitive animal oracle. And at a later time when it's finished, I'll share the guidance. But for now, I will share an excerpt from Ted Andrews' Animal Speak, obviously a big inspiration on connecting to animal energy. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest. But from Ted Andrews' Animal Speak about the skunk, the skunk is one of the most widely recognized mammals, but it is also one of the most misunderstood. It is very powerful with mystical and magical associations. Just look at how people respond to it. They show great respect for it and what it can do. This is part of what skunk teaches, It teaches how to give respect, expect respect, and demand it. It helps you to recognize your own qualities and to assert them. The skunk does not get out of the way of any animal. It moves along at its own speed with its own mind. It is self assured and confident in itself. If the skunk has shown up, it can be a help to you with this particular aspect. It can teach you how to be more self assured and how to assert yourself. Skunk helps us to learn to balance the ability to draw and repel people. There is a natural cycle. The skunk is a solitary animal for the most part. Skunks can remind us that there are times best for drawing people and there are times best to avoid people. Finding the correct balance is what can ensure prosperity. Skunks are fearless, but they are also very peaceful. They move slowly and calmly, and they only spray as a last resort. When skunk shows up, you are going to have opportunities to bring out new respect and self-esteem. So what part of that reminded you about something in your life that you need to see or kind of pay more attention to? And remember, the last time we had the skunk was this year, the week of May 11th. So check back at that time and see if there are any recurring themes or anything that can help you this week. And now some writing prompts or soul questions to help you dive deeper into what you need to know this week. Answer one or none, like really trust what resonates. But with these questions, always pay attention to the one that you don't want to answer, that you don't want to be your prompt, because usually that's the one that we do need to do. So, number one could be, where in your life are you feeling misunderstood? Number two, what do you need to stay grounded and embodied? How do you come back to your center? Number three, where do you desire more respect and where could you give more respect? What does this show you? And number four, what does your inner child want you to do this week? What is it calling for you to do? And that brings us to the end of this episode for this week ahead of August 17th. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, I would love to hear if you resonated with any of the energy that I shared about this week ahead or how you interpret it. All the ways to connect are in the show notes, so just go there and reach out if you feel called to. And hugely appreciate it if you follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you feel like giving some support or a little love for my birthday, I would love if you shared this episode with a friend, or you could leave a review or share my Substack newsletter that comes out every Monday. That would be amazing. So thank you so much again. Be extra kind to yourself and others, and I will talk to you next week.
Hi, Auntie Mary. I just wanted to say something very, very meaningful. Cat.